Malika Andrews. So Malika Andrews, all right, everybody, DeMar DeRozan started a podcast. All right, he got a YouTube channel, like every
Oh,
other NBA
shit.
player nowadays. I didn't even realize DeMar DeRozan had a YouTube channel, and I didn't know that DeMar DeRozan even had a voice for like talking or nothing like that. But DeMar DeRozan has a YouTube channel, and he had Malika Andrews on it. All right, so he did an interview with Malika Andrews, and around the 30-minute mark, if I'm not mistaken. So I did a little bit of research so we can get straight to it. Around the 30-minute mark, I guess she starts talking about her love-hate relationship with doing her job, and I guess her criticism of men or black men in particular. And so this is kind of what happened.
People
That's a
think,
nice little
and
setup.
I've worked on it and I've gotten better at it, and I have tried really hard to
I'm gonna play a little
pour
bit
myself into the idea that those that matter don't mind and those that mind don't matter, and to have a circle of people that you can listen to and trust for feedback to pierce through the noise. But I don't think that folks are meant to know. There was a time when you had to, if I wanted to, if you turn the ball over at the end of a game, and if I wanted as a fan and I wanted to complain about that, thank you so much. And if I wanted to complain about that, I would have to pick up the phone. I would have to call the practice facility, ask to get through the person who answered the phone to maybe the team. There are all these layers, right? I'd have to write a letter saying I'm so angry DeMar turned the ball over. I'd have to call a news station and say I didn't like how Malika, whatever the case may be. And now there's just this constant cacophony online that exists at the touch of a button. And no one is meant to know that much about what people think of them. And I've gotten much better at not looking. There was a time in which I would search my name, this, that, and the other. I've quit that, but it doesn't mean you don't feel it. I have no idea how you do it with the amount of people. But I think if I feel that, I can only imagine how that feels for you and how you deal with that.
See, I think your position is a lot tougher because a lot of times, like, you know, you the one kind of, you got to bring up these topics. You got to have these conversations in a sense to where it's like, I'm going out to play, and for that 2 hours I'm on the court, I could just go home after that. I don't got to turn on anything. A lot of times, you know, I have moments where I watch a game on mute. You know, at this point, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
you have to protect yourself.
Yeah, you got to. So, like, you know, just you being a woman in that field, I just feel like it's so tough now because it's like you have a world kind of combating whatever topic y'all have to talk about for that day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, let's see what Stephen A. have to say, you know. Let's go against everything he's saying. Now makes it now everybody else become a reporter in real time.
Yeah.
Whether if it's picking up their phone saying, "Oh, this, she said this," and it's like, you know, it's like it's such a.
No, I
feel like
I
it's
agree.
a lose-lose.
He's a horrible interviewer.
I hope that, like, I try very hard to make it so that the thing.
I agree, Quinn. I think that he's a horrible. I mean, everybody don't just because you're great on the basketball court don't mean that you're good at being able to orate as a content creator or interviewer online.
And this
I
whole
think
little
both of
let's
them
sit
are
down
hard.
and eat and have a podcast and me ask you questions is kind of weird too.
Agreed.
When y'all gonna eat, nigga, ain't nobody put nothing in their mouth, but they got some more bread for the table.
Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna play a little bit more.
Things that I've experienced, I try to keep that in mind when I'm talking about players, right? I try to have that empathy
For sure.
and understand that I have a job to do, but also understand, like, I'm not here to play gotcha.
For sure.
I say to, you've heard me say this before, I always say, I want to be two things. I want to be accurate and I want to be fair.
For sure, yep.
And if I'm not one of those two things, you might not always like me, but this is my number, please call me. And people have called and they've said that. And I say that oftentimes to before, especially before I'm talking to folks about something that is sensitive or tough, because these things come up. And it is hurtful. Like, I think that's okay to say sometimes. It hurts. Even, it doesn't matter if it is someone who is credible or someone with a big platform, or if it's someone in their mom's basement just firing off a post. Sometimes it is hurtful when that seeps through, particularly for me when it's not true.
Right.
And that's been the hardest part for me sometimes, is stomaching the falsehoods, particularly, this you hate black men, or think that couldn't be farther from the truth, and using my family or the way that my family looks as some sort of evidence of that. And that is just untrue.
For sure.
And is just unkind. And
So she's basically, because there's been a sentiment online that her criticisms, her over criticisms of black men on a regular basis, it resonates, right? And it's been a narrative that she's been overly critical of black men and that she hates black men. And she's saying that this is not true and it's hurtful to her when people say that to her. What are y'all thoughts on that?
Well, it's the way she act. Like it's how you go at black men, and then to top it all out, your nigga's white. So what the fuck you mean?
Is he?
Yeah, she got a white dude,
I didn't know that.
which which fucking pushed the freaking narrative. Nigga, you hate black dudes, and you went to go get a white dude. So there you go. There you go, Malika.
Go ahead, Mika.
Isn't, but I mean, I think what she was trying to say is because of her family, right? So clearly, if you know her, she's mixed. And I wanted to say her dad's white. And so with that being said, it makes sense because usually, not all the time, but usually the opposite sex, they will go after what they're used to seeing. So I wouldn't see it in the spouse. It's what she says, and it's how she acts, and she's trying to hide behind the whole mixed race thing. I don't
Because
fire
she
off
went in
on
hard on the
black
make.
men. I
Oh,
don't fire off on
what's the
black men.
dude?
Amike Emeka Udoka.
Adoku.
I'm
To that
Udoka or
nigga.
something like that, whatever his name is. Yeah. Former
Like
coach of
she
the
went on him
Boston Celtics.
like extra tough.
She did.
She was like, held his feet to the fire. You ain't getting away with this nigga until you up out of here.
I don't think that's race though. I think she's a feminist. That's what I think.
Well, what a lot of guys are basically saying is that she go extra hard when it's a black guy. Maybe not as much
Yeah,
or
that's
so
why she
much
gets
when
the
it's not a black guy.
backlash. Yeah, that's why she gets the backlash. But she tries to hide behind the fact that, oh no, I'm not going at the black guys. Y'all are just doing that because I'm not black. So you're gonna use that to say, look, you're going at the black guys. And it's like, no, that's what you do. And it's okay. I don't know if a black guy did something wrong to her or whatever, but that's what she does.
Yep.
Like they're going by your actions.
Some nigga clapped cheeks and bounced. And she been
So
stormed
y'all
ever
do
since.
believe that she is overly critical, specifically of black men.
Yeah.
I agree. Like every time I see her on TV, I turn it off.
Mm.
Like I can't stand the sight of her or her face or her voice. I just
Hmm.
yeah.
I've never seen somebody that over talks to themselves.
And she be fighting with my nigga Stephen A too. Rude as hell, man.
But you know how like you can over talk with somebody else,
That nigga
but
Stephen A paved the
golly.
way for every nigger that came through ESPN.
That is true. That is very true. Well, Skip Bayless kind of
How
helped
you
with
gonna?
that, but you true. That is true.
But yeah.
You know what? The biggest takeaway that I took from this is
Oh, I thought it was her daddy. I know it's one of them. I know it's one of them. Mom, daddy, somebody. I know one of them white, whoever.
the biggest takeaway that I take from this is when she said that, and DeMar DeRozan said this too at some point in this whole lackluster podcast, was that they actually search their names out to see what people say about them online, and they are extra sensitive as a result of it. And I've been telling people this all the time, that every last one of these celebrities, I don't care how big they are, I don't care how, man, listen, when I seen 4 clips of my
Oh, I see mom.
podcasts on Meg The Stallion's documentary, I say, yeah, they be watching. They watch. And I know a lot of them watching because some of them be sending me messages and stuff on Instagram and stuff. But when I seen 4 of my own personal clips from my shows in my studio about on Meg the Stallion's documentary. I was like, dang, they butt hurt. Like they really do butt hurt. These people really do be searching out and they be looking to see how people feel about them. And if you got a halfway significant platform, they feel a certain way about it, bro.
That's why I told you guys last time why Megan is doing what she's doing. But I'm gonna leave that alone.
Nah,
But
you said it. You did say it. I remember what you said.
mhm. But to the chat, yeah, it's her mom. I thought it was her dad. Maybe that's the other mixed one, Joy. But no, it's her mom that's white. But yeah, I mean, but when you're used to those type of people in your household, if I see a mixed person with a white person, it that doesn't shock me, right?
Yeah,
Just like it doesn't shock me when I see two black people together that come from a black household. It doesn't shock me.
yeah.
Her problem is not her race. Her problem is not her being not black or half black, whatever you want to call it. Her problem is her.
Hmm. Do
Hmm.
y'all honestly think that she has a real critical eye of black men like that though?
What you mean?
Malika Andrews.
When you
Perception
say
is
critical
my
eye?
Like,
perception is reality.
is it that she's really just holding specific men accountable like the Ime Udoka dude? Or do y'all honestly believe that she's just really critical of black men, that she has a disdain and it kind of seeps through when she has comments and she's critical of black men?
Say that one more time.
Okay. Can y'all hear me good?
I can hear you now. Say that one more time.
Okay. So
Yeah, you're
Malika
perfect.
Andrews.
Mika just don't get it.
Malika Andrews. Do y'all believe that she's
Mm-mm.
genuinely critical of black men specifically, or is it just she's hard on men? Is it black men
Uh,
or is it hard
both.
on men in general?
I think both. I think she's a feminist, so I think she goes at men because I have seen her go at white men, but she disproportionately goes at black men. So I do see that as well. So, in your words, two things can be true at the same time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see what black men are saying. It's similar to, sometimes when um, certain women go after black men, or others go after certain type of women. They don't talk about women in general. Like, I see it. It is what it is. Everybody got a bias, I guess, but she acts like she doesn't see that she's doing that.
Women say that I hate a lot of black women say that I hate black women. So is it the same
But
thing?
see, no,
Why not?
because because there's a difference, right? So everything. So how we were just talking about, um, you guys, that she has I guess a white boyfriend, because I don't know her love life, but she has
Husband,
a white guy, a white husband. Okay,
husband.
she has a white husband, and she's mixed race and all this other stuff. So they're using all of that, as she's saying, to say, okay, she doesn't like black men, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
But when it comes to you, Anton, you have a black wife, you have a black daughter, right? And there's no denying it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts, right? They're not mixed. They're not like, you can clearly say that they're black. So you're investing in black women. Why wouldn't you be holding them accountable?
But I don't. I guess for
Mm.
me, I hold people accountable just based off of
Right, but
what
talking
I
about
see
just
happening
black women.
culturally or circumstantially, right? Um, and I hold guys accountable too. However, um, I don't know if you could use my relationship, for example, to justify whether or not I do or not. Now, I don't obviously hate black women, but how can am I any different than her if she goes hard on an Ime Udoka or whoever it is that she goes hard on?
She didn't go hard on Josh Giddey for the Oklahoma City Thunder when he was touching that 17-year-old.
I agree.
Who?
Exactly. Who? She didn't say nothing.
I don't watch NBA, so what the
It was a while ago,
Joshua?
but I'm just saying that's one thing that I noticed she didn't never talk about.
And it could be a bias. Now, does she? I mean, it could be a bias.
Mm.
But the problem is not her bias. The problem is that she acts like she doesn't have one.
She's saying that she doesn't, though.
That's the problem.
She said that she. I mean, is it believable that she doesn't have a bias though?
No, everybody has one.
Mm.
Everybody has one, but it's about how far it goes. I look red because my studio lights are on. That's all.
I feel you.
I was recording.
All right. Well,
Um,
I don't know. Y'all got anything else with this? I'm gonna read super chats and then we can move over to the next conversation.
when she's just acting a fool, I need her to wear her hair straight. She's making the curly girls look a fool. That's it.
Mm.
I
Do you
love me
think?
some dark, thick, curly black hair. Ooh, I love that shit.
Do y'all think that DeMar DeRozan? You think DeMar DeRozan?
That's
Oh
for my
my
friend
God.
Ashley.
You think that DeMar DeRozan has a future in being a
No,
content creator?
absolutely not. How many views that nigga got? No. The pure fact, this is the first I've heard of his podcast, and I'll be on these YouTube streets daily.
I
Okay.
don't care if
Here,
he
I'll tell you
does.
exactly how many. You can't
I
go
don't
by how
care if
many
he
views he got about whether or not it's going to be successful, though.
Yeah, you can. And
No, you
I watched one.
can't.
I seen one of our videos for my motherfucker had 250,000 views. I said, "What was we talking about?"
7 days.
need.
It's been up for 7 days,
Then I got 1,500
and
views.
it
15.
it has 13,000 views. Okay,
7
it's
days.
He
been up for
might be all
7.
right.
And he's known?
Yeah, he's an NBA
That's
player.
pretty good. He might be all right.
He has
No.
900, not 130,000, 13,000 views for the whole interview.
That might be all right.
No.
No, that's not
That's
good.
no. No, not when you know.
Yeah.
Because you got an extra platform.
Like you're like, this is my name. Come watch me, and people are just saying no.
Yeah. So people already gonna come at least. And then you add that on to the people that find you.
He got a
Like Joy
dinner
Taylor.
with Chris Paul teaser.
I don't get the dinner part. Like that shit's fucking
I'm
weird.
about to
I
go
don't
in there
know,
so
and
I
I
can
don't
get
like the black and white thing
free
either.
dinner.
But he got a dinner with Chris Paul teaser video.
I don't
that
like
was-
that nigga's hair. He looked like Aunt Celie, nigga.
Yeah, I don't like it either. But
Shit's
it
weird.
was released 22 hours ago. It got 741 views. So
What? 741.
yeah, it was released 22 hours ago, almost 24 hours ago. It got
Now
741 views.
I'm not view watching because I'm a newer channel. But I'm a newer channel and I can do that. How do,
You
I
know
don't think
who's
people
you know
use,
whose
I
podcast
don't
was
think people use
trash?
their names good. They don't use their platforms like they should.
Let me pull up Slimmy. You know whose podcast was trash?
Joy Taylor.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a lot of people. What up, Slimmy?
what's up?
What's
Son?
popping?
Dwayne Wades. Dwayne Wades' podcast was horrible.
Didn't even know he had one.
I didn't know you had one.
That's so bad.
Dwayne Wade pulled
Get it,
out
then
all
call
of the
them
big
out.
guns too. Dwayne Wade, I think, interviewed Pat Riley, and that shit was trash, bro.
I ain't
The
surprised.
interviewer and the interviewer and the guest can't both be trash. Like somebody got to be good.
That's true.
You know what? I just think that some people don't have. I don't even think it's just because of the platform. I think it also factors in of how people feel about you as a person. People don't like Dwayne Wade. They like Dwayne Wade, the basketball player. They don't like Dwayne Wade, the sassy man.
I like I'm really into college football, and you know Johnny Manziel, they used to call him Johnny
Yep,
Football.
I know Johnny. Yeah.
He got a podcast, and I tried to. He interviewed Vince Young, and then I watched that shit for 3 minutes. I was like, yeah, I can't do it. And they're both like they were both at the king, like the top of college football, and I was like, yeah, I can't watch this shit.
Yeah, honestly, I think that the days of you just being popular and just being able to go into a different thing,
It's not
that's
enough. It's
over.
not enough.
That is over.
Nope.
You're gonna have to actually have some talent. Gilbert Arenas has talent.
That nigga is
Yes.
charismatic
Yes.
as fuck.
Gilbert Arenas has talent. You know
I
what I'm
will sit
saying?
there and watch him and McCants play video games for
Facts.
3 hours.
Facts. It's some people. Mason Cameron has.
Yeah.
They have chemistry. They got talent. They're
Yeah.
just good at being able to talk about everyday things, which includes sports. There's other. Draymond Green is not. Ah man, that's a hard watch. Like
I
Drake
like
said.
RG3's. I like RG3's podcast. It's just not
Oh,
consistent.
I don't mind Draymond. I don't mind Draymond
See,
because
that's the
he's
problem.
still
You don't
playing the
want people to
game.
say, I don't mind you. You want people to say, I like you, not I don't mind you.
Well, let me say this though,
That's
Slimmy.
valid. Yeah, that's valid.
Draymond is okay with other people that are really good, like the TNT crew. Like when he does
Yeah.
his thing with the TNT crew, he works. Draymond by himself is not good, in my opinion. You
I,
see what I'm
I think
saying?
it's because he's sitting there holding that mic.
Yeah, that
think
junk was
that don't
bad.
help you.
It's a lot of
But
people that
I
are.
think that's still
Listen, bro.
good. I think that's still good. If you
I'm gonna
can
tell you
get with
this.
somebody.
Most people by themselves cannot do a show by themselves. It takes a very very well put together, you know what you're doing, whatever, so on and so forth, to be able to do day in and day out a show by yourself.
You gotta
Very
be
few
kind of
people
weird.
can
You gotta
do
be
it.
kind of weird too. Like there's something like twisted about your mind to be able to do that too.
Yeah, yeah.
Anton
It,
included.
I do have some quirks about me. I
Because
will.
you got to be able to like talk. You like looking at the chat and like it's like a general conversation, even though they ain't really talking back to you. And then your subject matter and yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah,
It, Anton, that's
I,
the
and I
only
and you
thing
know
that
what I do?
keeps.
I couldn't do it. I was doing my college football stuff and I had a co-host and we was talking about Texas and that nigga went to the bathroom and it was cricket. So I was like, ah, shit. That
being
nigga was
able to
like,
produce and put together a good show is a skill. It is
Hell
a
yeah.
skill. It's a skill. Being able to do a show by yourself is a skill. It is an interesting skill.
Sometimes I'll say this. I've seen people that are great, like in person, or like funny or charismatic, and then I'll see them on TV and they're like dry. Or the complete opposite. I'll see somebody that's like charismatic on TV, and then in person is like, that's why I wanted to see you live.
Yeah,
Right? But the only thing I'll say with the podcasting, everything is fine except the engineering. Like I have to spend all day to do those shows because I be like, I'm gonna miss this tab, I'm gonna miss this.
I'm able to.
Like
I've been
I'm
doing
getting
it for
used
a
to
long
it.
time, so I'm able to multi. Like even right now, like I've been. I mean, you don't notice it, but I'll be putting together this stuff in real time behind the scenes. That's basically
Yeah,
putting
that's
us in a position to
crazy.
start talking about the
But
next
Anton, you know
subject and
what
all of
helps
this
you
stuff.
though? You are you're tech savvy, right? So I'm used to just being
Yeah,
the
that's true.
talent, right? So I can get on camera, I can talk, I can sing, dance, whatever. But I never have to deal with the stuff like the
Yeah.
engineering. You're used to engineering.
Yeah, I honestly, I can get. I don't know. I'm just so used to talking in
So
corporate
I'm learning
America.
it. I'm getting better at it, but I noticed that was a hurdle for me when I first started.
Yeah, in corporate America, like for me, honestly, I could wake up in the morning, go outside, grab my camera, and just go. I could talk for 2, 3 hours straight. I'll be interacting with people on the street. It's just it's just in me. You know what I'm saying? It's just always been in me. I am the type of person that could just go and talk for two. I could put up a camera, come up with a subject, and just start going in for the next hour and a half straight without even thinking about it. And
Yeah,
I'll
I
look
can
up
do
and I'll be
that.
like,
I
man,
can't
it's
do
2 hours past.
the mechanics of it, the other stuff.
I don't
Like
need none of
if
that.
I have to just cut it on, I can just cut the stuff on. But
I
when
don't
I
need
got to
none
do
of
all
that.
the editing and all this other stuff, I be lost in the sauce. But
I don't need none of that.
I've gotten better at it.
I could just cut on my camera and just go. I used to do it every Wednesday. I mean, I could. I mean, you know, it's fun when you talk about different subjects and you add different things in it and different elements. But I could just cut on the camera and just talk, bro. I don't know. I don't know. God has blessed
That's
me
a
with that.
that's the gift of gab. That's literally
What
what
cat
that
was
is. A
that?
gift of gab.
Y'all stupid.
Yeah.
Everybody ain't got that, man.
Rita
What?
say I could talk. She said I could talk myself out of any situation.